Well, let's just say it right up front. Dana White was right. Uh, Most of the year in 2024, the UFC president has been proclaiming Jon Jones the greatest pound for pound fighter in the world. And a lot of fans, a lot of media, a lot of other people have been ridiculing White because Jones had not been an active fighter. But Jones is now an active fighter again. And holy shit, that was an amazing performance tonight in the main event of UFC 309 at Madison Square Garden in New York, in front of President elect Donald Trump and a sold out crowd at Madison Square Garden. Jones stopped Stipe Miocic 4 minutes and 29 seconds into the third round in an incredible performance. What a fight that was by Jon Jones. Just an incredible, amazing performance. It was a spinning back kick to the ribs that did it. But Miocic was on the way out when that kick landed. Jones had landed a jab and kind of paused for a split second, then landed a clean right hand, and you saw Miocic kind of stagger around a little bit. Jones then went for the spinning kick and hit him with the heel just underneath the rib cage. Miocic went down in a heap, and Jones finished the deal. It was just an amazing, amazing performance. Jones nearly got to finish in the first round. He took Miocic down and was dropping some major league elbows. It was like his glory days at light heavyweight when he ran roughshod through the greatest in the division's history. He had looked human in some of his last light heavyweight fights. And there were some people that were thinking, well, maybe Jon Jones at this advanced age, 37 years old, had started to hit and was on the other side. I am here to tell you that is not true. Jon Jones was unbelievably phenomenal. And what amazed me in this performance by Jon was that he did it in all aspects. It wasn't like he just was a wrestle heavy performance. I would say it was a striking heavy performance against Stipe Miocic. He had the one takedown in the first round. But he really just beat Miocic up at Miocic's own games with his hands and with his legs. The kicks were just absolutely brutal. Miocic was really hurting from those kicks. And Jones showed good, sharp hands. He landed a number of crosses. His jab was a big weapon tonight. He was popping that jab in Miocic's face. And Miocic, who announced after the fight that he is done, he is retiring, he didn't look as quick or as athletic as he has looked in the past, and that's not shocking. It's been over 3 years. I think it was 44 months since he last fought. He got knocked out by Francis Ngannou at UFC in 2021, March of 2021. And he hadn't fought until he came back to fight against Jon Jones. But I don't want to take away by saying Miocic looked slow and Miocic hadn't fought, because this was a prime Jon Jones. And I am here to tell you that he would have beaten anybody in the world tonight. Now, he opened the door, and this is the good thing. After the fight was over, he said, we have some negotiating to do, but I think we may give the people what they want. And of course, that was alluding to a heavyweight title fight against interim champion Tom Aspinall. So that was the great news of that post-fight interview in the ring with Joe Rogan. The fact that Jon is now open to fighting Tom Aspinall, because that is the best fight really that can be made. I love Alex Pereira, the light heavyweight champion, the former middleweight champion. But Pereira just doesn't have the game to deal with Jon. Yes, he's a big guy. Yes, as Jon said, they're the same age. But Alex just doesn't have the wrestling that it would take to defeat Jon. I'm not saying that Tom Aspinall does. I think it will be a good fight. I do think Aspinall has the skill set that he will make as good a fight against Jones as anybody. But boy, based on what I saw tonight, it is really going to be difficult for anybody to beat Jon Jones, unless, of course, you have that big glaring mistake. You know, sometimes somebody, zigs when they should have zagged and they get caught with a punch, and, a fight that they were winning, they get knocked out, and, that happens. But, you know, Do I see somebody comprehensively beating Jones round after round after round and then finishing him? I don't. I just think Jon is at another level. Um, and when you go back through his career, he's had his peaks and valleys. He was in a lot of trouble at different times. He didn't train for fights at different times. But he showed tonight that when he's focused, when he is on, he is just a breed apart. There has never been anybody like him. He has the length that it's so hard to figure out the distance. His kicks are lightning fast, they're hard, they're accurate, they just come from anywhere, and you don't know what type of kick he is going to throw. John Anik said, and I thought it was a very good point during the broadcast, Jon Jones will go after every single part of your body with every single weapon he has. And that is so true. And you saw that where, he threw every kick imaginable. He was throwing punches, he was throwing elbows. Jones has all these weapons and he's highly athletic. He has an unbelievable fight IQ. Um, he has no flaw. Even I thought tonight he showed a little bit of a chin. In his career, we haven't really had to see how much of a chin he has. There's been some times he's gotten hit. I guess the Alexander Gustafsson fight, he showed. But Stipe Miocic has been he was widely regarded as the greatest heavyweight in UFC history. Miocic was a hard hitter, a big puncher. And he landed a couple shots on Jon tonight, not a lot, but a couple. And Jon ate them and just got his distance back and went after what he had to do. I don't see a flaw in this man. It is going to take a well-rounded fighter that Tom Aspinall is. So let's not, mince words here. Aspinall has not beaten the level of opposition that Jones has, but he has beaten very good opposition. I'm not going to dog Aspinall's resume because I have Aspinall very high up on my pound for pound list. I don't have it in front of me right now. I believe I have Aspinall going into the fight tonight. I believe I had him ranked 4th in the world pound for pound. And so that says what I think of Tom Aspinall. But the pure fact of the matter is he has not beaten the opposition that Jon Jones has. It looks like he's going to get his chance to face the great Jon Jones now, and that will be one of the things that he has to overcome. But it will be a massive challenge for both guys because Aspinall's 31 years old. He's bigger than Jon. He's a 258, 262-pound guy that can match that height that Jon has. He has a great jiu-jitsu game, so if they get on the ground, he can take care of himself on the ground. But, Jones is such a good grappler. And he has such great ground and pound that when he's on the ground, he has a lot of weapons even there. So Jon Jones, just hats off to him. Really, really impressive performance. And, I'm sorry, Islam Makhachev, the lightweight champion, you are dropping down. I'm sorry, Ilia Topuria, the featherweight champion. You've been making a great run. You are not moving up. I'm sorry, Alex Pereira. You have done amazing things. You have had an unbelievable 2 years. Jon Jones is the best there is. Bret Hart, the former WWE champion, they used to say, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Jon is the best there is, and he's the best there was. Will he be the best there ever will be? Well, there may be somebody come along a long time from now that is better than Jon Jones. And I just hope to say I am alive to see it. If that person comes along, I want to see that person fight because that person is going to be one hell of a fighter. After the fight was over, Jones went over, left the octagon, ran over to President-elect Trump at octagon side. He handed the president-elect his championship belt. He shook hands with the president-elect, also with Elon Musk, who was sitting next to President-elect Trump. And Jon was just reveling in the glory that he was getting, and very much so. So it was good news all around tonight because Jones ends this silly debate that we were having. And I just want to end before I finish this. I just want to say what my argument was. And I think most of you agreed with it. Um, I had Jon number one after he beat Cyril Gahn, but he was inactive for more than 12 months. And I have a rule on my pound for pound. And I say, if you have not fought in 12 months or more, you are not eligible to be number one because you're not competing on a regular basis against the best in the world. And Jon, that Cyril Gahn fight in March of 2023, that was Jon's first fight, only fight since February of 2020. So, he basically had one fight in over 4 years going into tonight. To me, you can't be number one pound for pound being that inactive. And that was my only argument in this thing. Dana was insisting he was number one, and Dana was right. Jon Jones showed tonight to any skeptic, to any doubter, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the best fighter in the world in mixed martial arts is Jonathan Dwight Jones, Johnny Bones Jones, the UFC heavyweight champion. In the co-main event, I should just talk a couple of seconds about the co-main event. Charles Oliveira largely dominated the fight, and he won a unanimous decision over Michael Chandler, 49-46 on two cards, 49-45 on the third. But that final round was just crazy off the hook because Michael Chandler just went for it, let everything loose. He kind of fought under control a lot of the first 4 rounds, and Oliveira grappled him a lot, held him down, didn't let him get much going. But when the fifth round started, Chandler was like a bat out of hell, and he just went crazy going after Oliveira. And at one point, he hurt him, looked like he might finish him. So that was a very fun fight in the co-main event. But the big news tonight, really the only news coming out of UFC 309, and still Johnny Bones Jones UFC heavyweight championship with a knockout of Stipe Miocic. Hope you enjoyed the fights, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I will be back with plenty more coming up. If you don't subscribe to my channel, I really would appreciate it if you do. Please like this video. Please comment. I try to answer as many of the comments as I can. A lot of good stuff coming up, as I said before. And we will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate your support. See you soon.